Todd here with 60X Custom Strings. This is going to be part 2 of our Bitzenburger upgrade kit from Zenith Archery Products. I'm going to show you how to actually, fletch an arrow with our kit. Answer some of the questions that we get on a regular basis about the upgrade kit itself. So first off, you'll have to remove the knot from your arrow. You just pull it out. Make sure you have the right receiver in the bottom of the jig. This is a standard 246. That's the inside diameter of most of your standard hunting shafts. So what we're going to do is take the arrow shaft itself and press it onto the receiver. And you don't want to bury it. So I'm going to have her zoom in here. And you should be able to see that this is not bearing all the way down to the bottom. So you're only going to push it on until it stops. You don't want to push so hard that you'll actually split the end of that carbon shaft out because of the taper on it. As long as your arrows are going to stop in the same spot, all of them are the same diameter. Obviously this is constant, so you don't have to worry about inconsistencies there. You could put a small mark on here if you want, to just know that you are in the same spot every time. If that makes you feel better, you can go ahead and do that. So what you want to do first on these jigs is actually put a vane in your clamp at whatever height you're going to want it. Put the clamp on the jig and test fit it to the arrow shaft, and see how your vanes are laying on the arrow shaft. With these jigs, you can loosen these up. So if your vane's laying too far to the left or too far to the right, or you can put more or less helical on it or more or less offset on it by adjusting these. So all you do is, if you have a problem and say the front of your vane is a little bit too far, to the left, and it's not going to get a good footprint, where the vane's not going to sit flush against the arrow there, it's kind of sticking up. So you'll break these loose and you'll just be able to turn these knobs. And when you do, it's going to move the clamp on the arrow shaft. So this is going to control how much offset you have and or where the vane starts, how it's sitting there. So you can move both sides over. You can move the bottom and the top both over if everything's sitting too far to one side. Or if you just want to put more helical on it, you can do that here. If you're doing that, you'll have to adjust both of them and make sure that the front to the back of the vane all has a good flat footprint against the arrow shaft. If not, your vane's going to start to peel and it's not going to stick well. So once you get that lined up, where everything is going to seat nicely on the arrow shaft, you can just lock these back down. Now you're ready to start fletching your arrow. So what you'll do is, this is a brand new arrow shaft here, so I'm not actually going to fletch it for you, but you'll take your glue and you'll lay a thin bead down the vane. I normally take like a cotton swab, not a swab, but a Q-tip, and I'll just run it over top, make sure I have a nice even line of glue down the vane. And a lot of your super glues, your fast set glues that everybody uses now, you don't want big globs of glue sticking out. Just a thin layer is all you need. Then you'll lay the clamp onto the jig. I always leave a little gap first, and I get the bottom set in, and then I'll just press everything down at one time right against the arrow shaft. I normally hold it down on there for 10 or 15 seconds. That's about all you need for this new glue that everybody uses. It's not like the old fletch tight that you had to leave for like 15 minutes of vane. It's a lot faster than that now. And once you do that, you pinch the clamp and pull your arrow shaft away, and your vane will stick to the arrow, and you pull the clamp off, and then you repeat. So once you do that, you'll take and you will turn the bottom of the receiver towards you. So you're going to turn this counterclockwise. That'll move the vane from where you just fletched it down on this setting here. It's going to move it 120 degrees, and then you'll repeat with the next vane one more time, and you put the final vane on the arrow. Same deal if you're using one of the 4 fletches. Do the same thing, except for you're going to do it 4 times. That's pretty much how it works. If you have pin nocks, you take your nock off the pin and you'll press your arrow shaft, the pin inside of this receiver, and with the pin nocks, if there's a reverse taper on the inside of that, you're at the bottom of the pin, the base of your pin will actually meet flush against this bottom piece. So you will bury the pin all the way in this. Your other arrows you will not bury, you'll just push them until they stop. Same thing if you're using the 1/6 diameter, works the same as this. You just push it on until the arrow stops. Don't push it any further, you will bust the arrow shaft if you do that. The more you use this, the easier it'll get, the easier it is to adjust, and it's just a practice thing. The more you practice with it, the better you get. So if you have any questions, you can drop us comments or give us calls, but that's how it works.